Welcome back, everyone. Why make landscape photography with one camera, one lens, and no tripod? Is it worth doing? Of course it's worth doing. We'll break it down when we get back from this week's location video. Welcome back, everyone. So, was visiting Washington, D.C. this week, and it's been a fantastic time. And I've come out to the Patuxent River where I shot many of my videos years ago, and it's just an amazing feeling to be here. I don't miss living here, but I miss my nature hikes and the places where I used to spend an awful lot of time making photographs and hiking. So anyway, so we're gonna go on a hike here today. I'm already about a mile into it. I've stopped and taken some photos, and I'm shooting by hand. I'm not carrying a tripod. One camera, one lens. And yeah, all handheld should be fantastic. It allows the spontaneity that, you know, we don't always get when we're shooting with a tripod, right? So, yeah, let me walk on and I'll check back with you. The thing is, with the park now, they've changed the trails entirely. So for me, this is going to be a whole new experience, because all the old trails I used to like so much, but also had problems, are gone. There was a pretty big problem with the trails just getting worked into the ground to the point where there was water sitting on them all the time. So the new trails, I think, hopefully will have not fallen into that kind of repair yet, at least. And yeah, I'll touch back in a minute. It's already 80 degrees here. I'm a little warm, maybe 75. Not used to it yet. I found these trees I see back here. I really like the pattern, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can come up with a composition without climbing around and take land down there. And yeah, we'll see what I can pull on this. So I think the goal today is going to be really just shooting handheld, on the fly, one lens, one camera. So I brought the Fujifilm X-T5, and I'm shooting with the 16 to 80 f4. I've got a polarizer, and that's it. That's my entire camera kit, other than this handheld camera. And we're gonna see what kind of stuff we can come across. Shooting off the cuff handheld can be a really liberating way to get out and shoot. It can be a fantastic way to add things to your portfolio that you're not used to doing. It's I don't even know how to put it exactly, but it just gives you a different way to view the world. And I think that's really, really important to be able to do something like that. So handheld shots are frequently stuff you can't get ever on a tripod. So it gives you a different way of looking at things, a different way of doing things. Found this beautiful beech tree. It's huge, 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 huge. And so I stopped and got a shot of it. Ooh, I'm schwitzing. Stopped and got a shot of it. And here you go, here it is. So that tree I just photographed, I like those shadows. That was good. So, I'm gonna keep moving on. And I think today's gonna be a short one. It's just nice to touch base this week. And then next week we'll be back to something a little longer, I think. I like that. Those ferns are fantastic. I like the way the light is just on the leaves and a little bit dappled on the fern leaves, that is, and a little bit dappled on the leaves on the ground, the brown leaves. It's getting pretty warm and humid, so I'm sweating. But man, it's so beautiful out here. It's so nice to be back here walking around. I wouldn't trade it for Maine, but man, I do love it here, and I love this kind of forest. It's just one of my favorites. But anyway, I like the way the leaves of the fern go off. And you have a strong sort of 3-direction light pattern on those fern leaves that I think is just really fantastic. So if that shot comes out, here it is. Well, that shocked me a little bit. Walking down the trail, and there's a big, big rat snake sitting in the middle of the trail. Not wanting to piss him off or get bit. They're super docile. So I just poked him lightly with a stick to get him to move out of the way. So, this mountain laurel I just photographed, absolutely beautiful, stunning when they're blooming, with these interesting pentagonal shaped flowers. I think they're really pretty. So, I don't want to know what to say about the composition. It's vertical, and it's tri-cornered, and what I mean by that is boom, boom, boom. It's a triangle, so it has that going for it. And I like the mottled light on it, and yeah, here's that shot. Man, what a great day of walking and just shooting, you know, light. This is, I miss doing this. I gotta figure out places to do this up in Maine. But let's see. I am going to now head back to the car. I'm right down here at this wetland, and it's just beautiful down here. Looking at the lilies and mosquitoes biting me, but still fantastic. And yeah, good stuff. The weird thing here, because Patuxent Air Base is not far from here, you can hear at a very long distance, but you can hear the airplanes breaking the sound barrier over the ocean. It's just boom, 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 boom. It's pretty cool. I keep talking with the microphone. I shouldn't do that. All right. So, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed this short little video, and you like the photos I took. And I will we'll see you again next week, or maybe halfway through the week. We'll see. If I get inspired, maybe you'll see me in a short. And thank you for coming out. And don't forget to like if you enjoyed this. Definitely subscribe. I make plenty of content like this. I also do camera reviews and photography reviews, and I do teaching videos too. So if you're not a subscriber, please come and subscribe, and You'll get plenty of useful content, and thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Bye for now. Man, that was so good to get out there, down where I used to live. I don't really miss the DC area, but I do miss some of the parks like Jug Bay, the one I was in the video, and Shenandoah National Park, Dolly Sods, Monongahela National Forest, Prince William Forest. I mean, there's so many great parks down there. And how about Billy? What a beauty she was, no? I think snakes are pretty cool. I don't necessarily want to, have them as pets. I'm not one of those weirdos. Sorry for those of you that are one of those weirdos, and there's nothing wrong with being that kind of weirdo, but not really my thing. So, before I keep running my mouth about unrelated things, let's discuss why I decided to make this video and why I think it's really beneficial for you as a photographer to give these techniques a shot. Let's do a list. I always love a list, as you know. So we'll start with pluses. Creativity. That's the first major plus, I think. You can look at a scene from any angle through your viewfinder. I mean, it's handy to do this anyway, but most people seem locked into setting up their tripod, getting the camera on it, and not doing anything further. Just taking the shot they saw to begin with. So I think walking around, looking close, looking far away, looking left, looking right, looking behind you, you can do this with a camera in your hand and shooting through a viewfinder. Shooting without a tripod, looking through your viewfinder. You can try vertical or horizontal. On a tripod, you can do that, but frequently you need to change your setup when you go from vertical to horizontal. You can't just flip it and go, oh, that's better. Usually you have to actually move around, and it's really easy to do that when you're on foot. You have this camera in your hand, you're looking through it vertically, you're looking through it horizontally, you're figuring out your setup. So same as the first point, essentially. This happens to me every week. My mouth just stumbles over itself. You can climb into areas that you never thought about. Don't forget to check yourself for ticks. By the way, it is tick season again. I already pulled one off of myself, pulled one off of my dog, so it is that time of year. But without all the gear on your body, you can get down into places and find photos that you never would have even thought of, which is really kind of cool. Let's see. Of course, you could do that without a tripod with just your camera when you're looking for... You're not leaving your bag on the ground, are you? Where somebody could steal it? I'm kidding. Most of the places we go to shoot, there aren't many people around. But that is something you got to pay attention to. Like down in D.C., I always heard about people setting their bag down while they set up a shot and somebody ran off with their bag, So be careful if you're going to set your bag down. Even in the woods, if there are other people around, somebody might just grab your bag and run. So careful of that. Let's see. Next point. Instead of using zoom to get your shots, you can walk up to something and zoom with your feet. Zooming with your feet it's the old way of doing it. Before zoom lenses were any good, people shot primes and they would zoom in with their feet, zoom out with their feet. So even if you're shooting with a zoom lens on your camera, getting out there and zooming with your feet, it's the way to go. It can give you a new and fresh perspective on the scene and a new way to approach landscape photography that most people simply don't always or ever do. So, example, I know that when people walk through the woods with a camera, they'll see something, they'll snap it, this and that. But when you try to use the techniques that we use as landscape photographers, where you set up and you really consider the scene, and I'm actually going to talk about this a little more in a minute, it can open your eyes to a whole new way of seeing things. So let's move on to the next point. Using just one lens, whether it's a prime or a zoom, locks you into figuring out, and this is the one lens part, not the no tripod part. Using one lens can lock you into figuring out what the scene is in front of you with what you have. So sometimes this is really far superior to going with the obvious and switching up lenses. Once again, it spurs creativity. So all of these are really heavy-duty creative points. All right, next heading I wrote was convenience. It's just so much lighter and smaller to go without a tripod and a bunch of lenses. Okay, obvious. Smaller bag, similar subject. And you can take more of what you need for the hike, like food, drink, gear, jackets, etc., and not have to put that on top of all your heavy camera gear. So Sometimes it's really nice just to have one camera, one lens, no tripod, and then all the stuff you need for your hike or your camp, in fact. However, as much as I like this idea, you probably won't find me camping with only one camera, one lens. When I'm out camping and doing backpacking, I tend to bring a couple of lenses and a camera and a tripod. So, simplicity. This is the next one. This sort of connects to the first point, but it also connects to being more zen and clear in what you're doing. You don't have all sorts of stuff to worry about, so you can concentrate more fully on the creative process and on oneness. That's where the zen comes in. So, simplicity. It's a probably one of the biggest pluses of going light with one camera, one lens, no tripod. Okay, minuses. I love my lists, so here are the minuses. If that once in a lifetime shot that you need that really long or really wide lens for comes along, you are out of luck. Again, this is also similar, but if you want to switch styles of photography and you want to, let's say, photograph birds, you're out of luck with your ultra-long zoom not with you. So those are the other things to consider. However, cheating and taking it with you then totally negates the point of what we're doing here. So obviously none of this is hard and fast, by the way. It's just great exercise. Let's see. What is next on my list? Oh, heck, this is a good one. You don't look as cool when you're showing off what a photographer you are. I know that is like a huge thing for people. You get in the Facebook groups and people are posting photos of their cameras and putting accessories on their cameras and getting all excited about the object. But in those same groups, you rarely see somebody actually posting a photo that's worth a darn. So maybe don't do that. I know we're sidetracking right now, but maybe try to make photos instead of trying to doll up your camera. But some people are in it for the gear, not in it for the photos they make with the gear. So your mileage may vary. So like I said, you don't look as cool when you're showing off what a photographer you are. So this is the biggest one, I think. The propensity for being sloppy is really there. It's so easy to just shoot whatever, even if it's not something that will ever produce anything worth looking at. But you still take pictures over and over and over until you get it sort of right. But it never will be right, will it? I guess you could call it the attempt at the infinite monkey theory. You know, you take enough pictures, you're gonna make an Ansel Adams, right? All right, so it's pretty clear that I think the pluses outweigh the minuses. I think the pluses outweigh the minuses. I wouldn't do it all the time, but it's a really, really good exercise. Anyway, I think it's pretty clear that handheld, single lens, no tripod landscape photography can be truly liberating. It can present things to you in ways you've never thought of, and it can get your creative mind really flowing. It can help you walk further with less pain, and it can help you do it with fewer things to worry about. Overall, it's a bit of a win-win game. Okay, that's an overstatement. The work we do with our full kits is really all about thought and introspection and care, and even precision to some degree. Handheld shooting is inherently lacking in all of this. But the exercise to try to practice all of these things without being forced to is really beneficial and can really, in the end, lead to some excellent results. I do hope you'll get out there and try to make real work without the tools that we as landscape photographers rely on. I think you'll find that if you do, you'll really enjoy yourself. Even if you come back with nothing. Like anything, all it takes is a little practice. But do it, and you'll find out it's another tool that you can use to be the best photographer you can be. So, listen, I know this is a short week. I was on vacation last week. Had a really good time. You saw in the video, it was fun to go back to my old hiking grounds and shooting grounds, because if you are a longtime fan, maybe, you've seen all the videos. So I do a lot of videos like this if you've never watched. Let me throw my pitch at you, those of you that are new here. I do a lot of videos like this. I do reviews, I do teaching videos, I do location videos. I would love to have you come back again and watch more of my videos. So please, if you found this useful, hit that thumbs up and definitely subscribe. And also hit that notification bell because that will tell you when I've actually put a video out. So lately it's been a little more spotty because it's been busy times this summer. So I want to thank you again for watching, and I couldn't do it without you guys. The numbers are going up, 2,200 subscribers, right around there. But we need to speed that up because even at this rate, it's going to be like 20 years till I get anywhere close to, you know, a lot of subscribers. So anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. You guys make it all worth it. I will see you again next week. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.